Okay, I am home. This is like the fourth attempt because my partner keeps texting me and gets me distracted. As you guys know, I talked with pharmacy on this insurance side and found out that Dexcom had been denied and the reason why. Reasoning being that Dr. Amanda went in and click, 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 and then sent it with no supporting documentation. Yeah, not happy. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to make sure it's getting done properly? They told me what needed to be done. I said, okay, I've been on metformin for 14 years. They're like, that would have qualified you right there. Okay. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going in there anyways today. So I got off the phone with them. I was literally fuming that Dr. Amanda is so ignorant. Is the best way I can put it without calling her every name in the book, which is running through my mind. Has been running through my mind since this morning. Um, so we get me into the appointment. We have our interpreter there, which is amazing. Thank you, IHC, for actually listening with the hearing aids. And we went ahead and weighed me. It did show weight gain, and it's because of the cast boot. Cast boot weighs 2.6 pounds. So I'm like, okay, well, when I get home, I'll have my partner weigh it. We'll find out the difference, and I'll go ahead and subtract it from my personal records once I see how much the weight is of the boot. So again, 2.6. So it actually, I'm under where I was the last time I logged the MyFitnessPal from here at home with my scale. So I went ahead and updated that today. I'm actually proud of myself. I'm very, very happy. Just wish my sugars would get under control. So we went into the room, did blood pressure, went over my sugars. They're like, yeah, these are concerning. You should not be having spikes at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Da 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 da. I'm like, well, no kidding. I said, we need to correct Dr. Amanda for a few things. And I said, and I explained why it got kicked back to them as denied. They're like, okay, well, make sure the documentation gets in this time. I said, one, mom was diagnosed as a diabetic in her 20s. She was born in 1945. I was born in 1983. Math ain't math and think that she was in her 20s when she had me. She was in her late 30s. So she'd already been diabetic for about 10 years at that point. Two, I stated I am willing to have my blood pressure medication adjusted if needed. Not me saying, oh, no, I don't want that. No, if needed. So if my blood pressure medication needed to be adjusted, let's adjust it. I'm not going to fight. I'm going to want to make sure that my health is where it needs to be, especially recovering from an ankle and foot surgery. I said, 3, I do not appreciate the back and forth game I had to play with Amanda last week. And my sweet, sweet partner popped off, said, 1, her sugars are not being controlled. We're doing everything right. I'm having to constantly remind her to check her sugars, which is true, especially the last 2 days. 2, I want her diabetes care transferred to Des, who he saw when he first was diagnosed years ago. I agreed with that. And then the most amazing news hit is, the nurse looked at me, she goes, you realize that Dr. Legater has been watching and making sure you're doing okay, even though she's been on maternity leave. I'm like, really? So she was aware of my A1C back in February. She has been aware of this back and forth with Dr. Amanda. And she's like, she's not happy. So I believe Dr. Amanda is in trouble. And I can be more happy about that because the fact she did not listen to us. and then put in her own words what she thinks I said, which was not true. And some of the lab work was incorrect because what she put in the thing, the lab work, what she stated about the lab work was incorrect. So, my primary will be back starting tomorrow. Guess who has an appointment on Wednesday next week with her provider? This girl. We are hoping, and we're pretty sure that my primary care is going to be in on getting this fixed, is I will have my Dexcom before the week is out. Okay. He's texting again. That way, when we go in on, actually, we probably could do it on Monday next week if I've got it in time, is give them the clarity information that they need so they can see my numbers in real time. And then, obviously, my partner's going to have real-time numbers, just like I have real-time numbers with him. So let me go ahead, and I've also stated, my phone is ready. I've got it ready for getting the Dexcom started. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, right there. This is a widget for Dexcom 7. And then down here, where my medical stuff is the actual app. It's ready to go for starting Dexcom. Has been since what? Thursday, Friday? Or yeah. My partner may go over and see if he can find his leftover Dexcom 6 so we can at least get me set up on something. Because we need to have more consistent tracking for me right now. And this is not doing it. Okay, so let me show you what the scales are. Okay, so you can see when we actually started it, which was literally 7 days prior to surgery, what on their scale, what the starting weight was. The following week, what it was. Then you see the surgical center. That's why I put the surgical center, because it was a vast difference, a 4-pound difference from my primary care scale. Then you see the first one, which is probably closer to what it is or was now, but I had the splint on for last week. This week you see where it shows the 258.6, which is with the cast boot on. The 256.0 is what it is without the boot. So we're keeping this as a documentation. It was lower than what my MyFitnessPal last weight was. So I went ahead and adjusted that in the MyFitnessPal as well. So it's showing a tiny bit of loss, but it's still a loss. But other than that, it's been a really good day. I contacted Rowan's office because I've been having the sharp pains, and part of it we think is probably because of the boot. She does want, or his nurse said to go ahead and switch back and forth between the boot and the splint, which I would prefer not to, but if we need to, we need to. If I'm still having the pain where that incision area is that I'm concerned about, she goes, I know you're ahead of the game. And like I told her, I'm like, I don't want to take one step forward in this recovery and get knocked back 3 to 4. Which, if it's an infection, it will knock me back 3 to 4 steps. So if I'm still dealing with a lot of the spasms and pains in that incision area, tonight I will call first thing in the morning and I will be out there to be seen by Rowan's partner. Because the ace bandage around the bandaging is loose, the dressing is loose, we're going to go ahead and fix that when my partner gets home. The boot is sitting next to me. Like I said, I took it off to weigh it to see what the actual weight of it is by itself. Sorry, a little bit of a spasm there. But we are home. I am going to be going, with the help of my partner, I'm going to be going out and I'm going to be making homemade pickles. So be looking out for that content here in a little bit. We are doing so many different things with us getting ready to move. And as I am recovering from the surgery and continuing on my wellness journey and weight loss journey, granted, I can't do a whole lot right now, but there's more to come. We'll see you guys later.